So over the weekend, Donald Trump was having some fun on Twitter, as he usually does, and he retweeted this. This is Don Vito08 tweeted this out. It says, "Thank you, Mr. Trump, for standing up for our country. Hashtag Vote Trump 2016. Join me on the Trump train." And then there's a picture here. You have a black family, and it says, "American families for Trump. We need a common sense president." So, the people at BuzzFeed, and I believe the people at Mediaite and some others, by the way, including myself, I did this separately too before any of the articles were released. They decided, that's a little curious. Let's look into it. Now, what tipped me off is that the name of the account is Don Vito08. Don Vito. Has there ever been a more obvious, just super duper Italian name? And there's this picture of a black family. So, okay, that's a little interesting. That's a little weird. And also, just black Trump supporters in general. All 8 of you, I'm sure, are great people, but there's 8 of you. So, people looked into it, and it turns out they're not Trump supporters. That picture was jacked from a local news report on a family reunion in the Midwest. Oh, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen. They just fished for a black family online, put it there, and made a meme out of it and tweeted it. But the story gets even better. It's also one of the first images that comes up when you type black family into Google. Dude. Stone cold busted. That's so sad. That's so sad. And then when you go through the rest of Don Vito's tweets, it's like all memes, and they all have similar pictures like that. And like some of them are Spanish families, some of them are black families, and he just tries all these different ones and tweets them out at him, hoping that, he'll get a retweet. And then it hit me. Oh, of course. The guy's almost certainly a staffer for Donald Trump. Like, remember, we covered the story where Hillary Clinton and Correct the Record, ironically named, they spent over $1 million to buy online trolls to take anytime anybody says something negative about Hillary, respond. So, Hillary did it. Oh, there's almost no doubt about it that Donald Trump did it too. The only person who I think wouldn't do it would be Bernie Sanders. He actually has a lot of genuine support. Not to say that some of the people who like Trump aren't passionate, but there's very few black Trump supporters, and of those who are black Trump supporters, many of them, I'm sure, are in the closet. The rest of the black community isn't going to be too fond of you if you say, yeah, Trump 2016, common sense. Really? Common sense? That's what you're going to say? So, almost certainly the case that this is a paid Trump account, that he's a staffer for Trump and he tweets out all these memes and stuff. And understand, guys, so again, it is true that Trump does have, obviously, he's got strong grassroots support. But that wasn't always the case. Donald Trump is almost a textbook example of fake it until you make it. Because remember, we covered the story when he launched his campaign, how they hired like an agency to send in fake supporters. They literally, as people walked in, they would hand them signs that they made, that they would try to pawn off as like, oh, this is a fan of Trump who made the sign. And they would hold it up. And Trump was on stage, this fucking goofball of all goofballs. According to reporters, there were dozens of people there, just dozens. But what did he do? He took the stage, he goes, oh, this is great, thousands of you here, thousands of people supporting Trump. The reporters were like, dude, there's like dozens of people here. There's not even 100 people here. What are you saying? So he started out just faking it. It was just absolutely faking it. Pay people to support, do, the AstroTurf support, as they call it. I'm sure accounts like this throughout his time, fake, and then eventually there's enough idiots in the country who are like, no, totally, I agree with that, and fuck the Mexicans. So they're like, okay, yeah, I'll join up with this guy. And then his fake support became real support. Donald Trump, it turns out everything about him and his campaign on some level is as real as the color of his skin or his hair.